next. You know, as business owners, we have to talk a lot about our mindset and why is it we got into business to begin with. So that is one of the things I will be asking you is, what's your mindset? Why did you become a business owner? What was that carrot that you were trying to achieve, and did you achieve it? Okay. We will talk about that because I want to share with you a little bit about Action Coach and Action Coach Campus and why we do what we do. And I'm going to slide my screensaver over here. The reason why we do what we do, and I want to explain to you where I'm going to be coming from when I ask you these questions, and we visit further about them. So let me just give you a quick few minutes about Action Coach and our philosophies that we adhere to when we work with our clients, because it's interesting that there are really 6 steps to a better business. And ironically, these same 6 steps apply to every business, regardless of where they are in the world or what type of business they have. Now, when we talk about a successful business, what we're really talking about is a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. Now, that doesn't always happen overnight. In fact, it usually takes years. What we have found is it typically takes 5 years for the average business owner to get from opening their business to getting to this point where their business works without them in it. So what are those business basics, those steps, okay, that we have found to be true? Well, there are actually 6 of them, and they don't typically go in this order, but mastery is usually the first. It is the foundation for what we need to know as a business owner. These are based upon years and years of research. Our founder, Brad Sugars, graduated from college as an accountant, went to work right away with small businesses, and quickly discovered that there is a common thread that permeates through most small businesses. And many business owners get into business because they're good at something, whether it's good at medicine, good at dentistry, good at flooring installation, good at hair care. You get the idea. They're good at something, but they're not very strong typically on the business side of things. So then you get your mom and pop shops, right? You get where you have one who's very good at the product, service, or delivery, and the other one hopefully can run the business. That was the case for my wife and I. We owned a business since 1999, a pediatric dental business, and my wife is the dentist, and I am the business manager. Now, we jumped into this with both feet. I worked for 3 jobs to get her through dental school, and then we opened up our practice in 1999, and it was a full-time job for both of us. However, as the business manager, I had the flexibility throughout the day to do other things, whereas she did not. Looking back, we both wished we would have had a business coach to give us advice along the way on how to better our practice so we really could make more money and spend less time in the business itself. So after we sold our practice back in 2018, we were looking for another business to open, and I discovered Action Coach. And I did my research. I talked to people. I talked to other coaches around the world who were affiliated with Action Coach. And it really just resonated with me personally that this is something that I know business owners in Eastern Iowa could benefit from. So we invested. We became franchise partners with Action Coach. And one thing leads to another, and now I have this opportunity to talk to you briefly about your business and those things that are important to you. So let's talk about these 6 steps just real quick, okay? That way you'll kind of know where I'm coming from and I can help you better, okay? So when we talk about the mastery stage, we're talking about those essentials, the foundation of what we need to know as business owners. Specifically, there are 4 areas of mastery. Your destination mastery, and I'll be asking you about this, is what is your vision for your business? What do you want it to look like when you're all done with it? Now think about that. It's not so much how much money you make. What is your revenue per year, your net revenue per year? But it's the entire concept of your business, okay? Tell me what you want your business to look like, to feel like, the number of employees, the number of locations. Revenue does come into play, but it's not necessarily the primary driver, but it is a driver. And then we'll talk about your mission, how we're going to get you to that point. What is your mission that you've established for yourself? Do you have one? And then tell me about your culture, okay? Tell me about the things that you will allow and not allow in the everyday goings on of your business, all right? What will you put up with? What will you not put up with? Honesty, integrity, these types of things. What are your culture statements? As a business owner, we need to know our money mastery. We need to know what our KPIs are. Essentially, what are your key performance indicators? What are the benchmarks that you've put into place to make sure that you're on track to hit your goals? That's what a KPI is. Do you routinely look at your cash flow statement, your balance sheet, your A&R report? Do you know what your break even is? If not, I can help you with those. We talk about time mastery. Essentially, how do you as the business owner spend your time? How many hours in the week are you working in the business? And how many hours of the week are you working on your business? And then we talk about the leverage of your time. Basically, what is leverage? We'll go through that. And we'll actually go through that on another step as well. And then delivery mastery. How do you test and measure everything that you do? Are you testing and measuring everything that you do? And is it consistent? Our next step then is niche. And that's how we get to a predictable cash flow. Now, when I talk about a niche, I'm talking about what is it in your business that creates that environment where your customers will just come back to you again and again and again, rather than your competition. They will choose you flat out over everybody else, regardless of what your competition's doing. It's like, no, I'm going to go see you. Why is that? What is that? Can you identify that? Can you put it into words? If you can, we call that a USP, or your unique selling proposition. What is it that distinguishes you from your competition? And do you have a guarantee? That's also important. Do you offer your customers a guarantee of some sort? And the only way to get your USP down and your guarantee to see if it's the right one or not is test and measure. Now, keep in mind, those of you with a growth mindset, we learn from our mistakes. We just call them learnings. All right, we test it and we measure it. We test it. If it doesn't work, okay, fine, we'll test something else. That's okay. That's how we grow. All right, that's how we grow. One of the other areas that we look at in our growth model is we call it a 5 ways. You'll hear me refer to your 5 ways. What that basically means is there are 5 ways to generate more money for your business. And Action Coach has those proven strategies in place already to help you gauge how your growth is going to continue to grow based upon the 5 ways that are applicable to your business. Let me explain. We all want customers, we all want more revenue, and we all want a higher profit, okay? Every business owner, that's what drives us, okay? However, how do you get more customers? You get your customers by the number of leads that you have and the leads that you can convert to become customers. Then what we want to track is, from our customer base, how many transactions do they have with us each year, and what's our average dollar sale? That gives us our revenue. And then we look at our profit margin. What can we do to increase our profit margin? Hypothetically, let's take the same business model I just showed you with a 10% increase across the board. Now, just at first blush, you would say if I'm making $50,000 profit with a 10% increase, I'd make an extra $5,000. However, we're going to modify each of these 5 ways just by 10%, and they will compound on top of each other. And you can see that what we actually gain at the end of the year is a $30,525 increase in our profits. We're going to move up next to our third step, which is leverage. And what we mean by leverage is how do we duplicate our efforts? It's a concept as simple as writing a book. You write one manuscript and you make thousands, millions of copies of that book. Same applies in your business. Whatever you need to tell one employee, you get it written down and into a system. Let me give you the acronym for system. You write it down, you put it into a system so that all future employees can be trained in the exact same way. Whether it's making burgers, pouring coffee, assembling a part on a production line, we have to have our systems in place so that we have that consistency in our delivery each and every time. Action Coach, we actually have 9 systems. I have a book. If you'd like a copy, let me know. I'm happy to get it to you. But we have 9 steps that we systemize a business. We look at that vision statement, and that is part of our systems. And the reason for that is because our vision statement needs to be shared with our employees and sometimes even with our customers. Because your employees want to know they're part of something bigger than themselves. They want to know that the owner, you, have got a plan in place. They want to know that you're not just coming to work every day because you have to, but that you actually are growing something great. So what is your vision? And then what's that mission? Again, we share that mission with our employees. We have our culture statements. We craft those, we laminate them, we put them in the break room, and this is who we are, people. This is what we stand for, this is what we don't stand for. Okay, this is our culture. We have our SMART goals. We have our organizational charts, so we know what the flow is. We have positional contracts in place because we want to know what our expectations are of each of our employees. We've identified our KPIs, our key performance indicators, that keeps us on track, right? They fit in, they dovetail with our mission, okay? But the KPIs are more numbers driven because we want to know, are we hitting our numbers every week, every month? Are we on target this quarter? Where are we at? We have our how-to systems. Again, those are the laminated sheets that tell us how to do something at this particular job. Part of that also is our scripts that we have in place. Those scripts are important because when someone answers the phone, they say the exact same thing to every caller. It's consistency. And our management systems. Once we have all those in place, now we can start to work on our team. And our team is so important as our business grows. And it's all people management. But understand, as the owner, you take really good care of your team. You make sure they're properly trained. You make sure they're certified if they need to be certified. You make sure that they have what they need to perform their jobs to the best of their abilities, because those team members will take care of your customers. If they're taking care of them correctly, those customers will return again and again and again. And that creates your business. And it's your business that will take care of you. So important. And lastly, the top 2 tiers are really closely related, our synergy and our results. The synergy phase is that we've got the team in place. We may have hired a general manager because now you're working more on your business and you're not so much in your business every day. And that general manager takes care of the day-to-day operations for you. And your business feels like a well-oiled machine. And then we come up to the results. Now you are in the position where you can decide one of 3 things. 1, you can keep the business because now it's spinning off cash for you every month, every year. It has become truly a passive income for you and your family. You can choose to duplicate it, because now you have the time to think about it. You've got all your systems in place already. You've got how you put teams together. You have your culture statements established. You know what your KPIs are. So now you can say, if I can do it here, well, I could do it in this other town. I could do it in another state. It's not uncommon for people to take their business model and say, you know what, I've always wanted to retire in the South, maybe down in Florida. Why don't I open a couple of these down in Florida to support my lifestyle down in Florida? You've got the whole book already established on how to do your business. So you could do that. You could franchise yourself. I have several families that I work with that I know of that have franchised their own businesses, and they have done very well. And you can too. Your third option, of course, is that you can sell it. Now you have a business model that works without you in it. Now it's primed to be sold. In other words, an investor can come along, offer you top dollar, because what they're buying is an investment. They're buying from you a money-making machine. They don't want to make the food in the restaurant. They don't necessarily want to do whatever business you're doing, but they do want to buy an investment. They want to invest their money into a service that is going to generate cash for them. This also is not uncommon. And if your business is at this point, at that results stage up here, you're in prime position to get the top dollar for your business should you decide to sell it. Richard Branson has this great quote. He said, if you can learn to run one business successfully, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't run that multiple number of businesses at the same time. The principles are exactly the same, and that is so true. At Action Coach, we've been doing this since 1993, and we have found this to be so true. If you can run one business, you can run multiple businesses. They don't even have to be the same type of business, because the business metrics are the same. I'm a fan of Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn said, never wish that your life were easier, wish instead that you were better. That's why I work with business owners. I work on your mindset. We talk about those challenges that you have, because I'm going to help you grow. I'm going to take you from here to here just by being your accountability partner. So you want to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Our founder, Brad Sugar, said where you'll be in 5 years really depends upon the books that you read, the people that you associate with, and the actions that you take. So I invite you, get into action, get this filled out right away, get it returned to me so I can look it over, because I want to be able to share information that is helpful to you and make our time together as productive as possible. I really do look forward to speaking with you soon. Please fill out that business questionnaire, and I will see you soon. Take care.